Hello to everyone. Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on. This message is in regards to calling all spiritual warriors at this time. I am marking this message urgent because it was a very powerful revelation that was brought to me today unexpectedly. And it's actually confirmation that a lot of the works that we have been doing has been it's definitely been very effective in bringing down the current power structure. Okay. So, first of all, earlier when I was driving in my car, I had to take a really long trip, about an hour and a half. And so, during that time, I usually use that as an opportunity to really uh, raise the vibrations of the universe through singing, especially with certain types of music, high vibrational music. And so today I was in warrior mode. Okay. And so I started thinking, I kept thinking, I need something that's going to give me the energy of lightning striking. Okay. And so I ended up seeing a song because I listened to like the songs of the Orishas. And so I ended up coming across a song that was for Ogun, but it mentioned lightning striking. And so I was like, okay, well, that's a sign right there in terms of lightning striking. So I get home, y'all. I get back home and I'm scrolling through my YouTube feeds, the recommendations, and I was told by my spiritual team I need to be looking for a sign. So I ended up going on to see what the latest news was because I don't watch TV, so I never know what's going on. Okay, most of the time I don't know what the heck is going on unless I actively seek to see what's going on at this current time. So I ended up coming across a story that was recently done August the 5th, in front of the White House. There was lightning that struck right in front of the White House that caused the death of 3 people, and 1 person was critically injured. So that's 4 people that was involved, who three of them lost their lives and 1 of them ended up injured. And so I knew right away that this was a sign, okay, because I was already thinking lightning striking. Then I saw the Ogun song that specifically said lightning striking, knowing that Ogun is generally the Orisha of war, okay. And then I get in, and that's the first story that I see. So I took a screenshot. I started looking at the video because my spiritual team was like, I need you to take a closer look at the lightning. So I started looking at it. I was taking screenshots of it and I started zooming in on it. And I noticed that there was multiple faces of demons. Okay, now I'm going to post this in my community. I'm going to put the picture up that I took personally on my community page, so you all, if you're subscribed to my channel, you should be able to see the photo. And I circled it in yellow, highlighting where I saw the face. I did see more, but one of them that stood out the most. And the faces of these demons surrounding the White House, mouth wide open as if they were in shock or in fear. Okay, now, that's not the only coincidence that happened in regards to this, okay? I said, okay, what does this mean? I started talking to my spiritual team and I'm like, I need y'all to tell me, what does this mean? And you all know I tend to use this book. I channel the energy of what the enemy is up to through this book, the 48 Laws of Power. I'm telling y'all, I started scrolling through this, just channeling the energy, asking my spiritual team, what does this mean? And it took me straight to, oh my gosh. And I'm doing this right now, y'all. I'm going to show you what it says, because this is not what I came across, but that says judgment. You see that right there? It's backwards for y'all, but it says judgment right there, okay? So the page that I was sent to, though, it said Endgame, and it said reversal. Now, y'all recall, anybody that's been keeping up with my channel, if you are a spiritual warrior and you've been following me, I've been given the message to call in all of the spiritual warriors, and I've been, channeling through and giving the messages in terms of certain assignments that we have in terms of breaking the generational curses, removing ourselves from contractual agreements that our ancestors might have upheld with with this wicked structure, many different things we've been writing, burning, and releasing, declaring and decreeing and destroying, right? And so many of you know that it was not long ago that we ended up doing the reversal. return to sender to the enemies, to the powers of wickedness. Okay, if you go back into my, just a couple of videos down, you'll see that this is something that was recently done within the past at least maybe 2.5 weeks. Okay, when I saw that, when I opened up this book and it said Endgame and reversal, I knew right away what it meant. So I said, okay, let me look up what the meaning of lightning strike means spiritually. And what I read was the spiritual meaning of lightning striking is sudden illumination, destruction of ignorance, punishment of humans from the gods of the skies, and the wrath of God. That's the spiritual meaning of the lightning strike. Now, it was no coincidence that this took place right in front of the White House. On top of that, it definitely was not a coincidence that 3 people died as a result of it, plus a 4th person critically injured. And I don't know the condition of that person today. But the number 4, first of all, deals with foundations, okay? So that is a symbolic meaning that the foundation of the U.S. corporation is now destroyed. It's definitely the end game for them. We're already looking at this. I'm getting ready to read this because it says judgment, okay? So I'm going to read this short paragraph, but I need you all to recognize and know that we have been putting in some work and it has been effective. The Most High has heard us. We have spoken. Our spiritual teams have been working on our behalf. Our ancestors have been stepping in and slaying these demons. And like I said, the face of those demons, you could literally see them. They were screaming. Their mouths was wide open, eyes wide open. I could see it through my spiritual eyes. It was so clear to me. And many of you, when you look at the photo, it'll be very clear to you as well. It's the end game for the U.S. corporation and all of these people of wickedness. And so we are currently in the full moon energy. I would like for you all, we're going to do a writing, burning, and releasing. I've already done it. And so I'm going to read it to you all in terms of what you all should write, burn, and release. For those of you who are the spiritual warriors who have been fighting this battle, with me, all across the 4 corners of the globe, and our spiritual team who are really putting in the work, okay? The holy angels, the Holy Spirit, ancestors of love and light, Christ consciousness has arisen. We have awakened, okay? And so let me read this real quick. Judgment, okay? I just turned the page to judgment. This is in regards to what took place on that night, okay? Because keep in mind, I wanted to finish that part. How often does a person get struck by lightning and actually die? How often does a person get struck by lightning at all? They say it's 1 in a million. It's the same way as a person winning the lottery. It's 1 in a million. So consider that 3 people died that night right in front of the White House. This is a sign from the Most High God showing us that the enemy's time is up. It's over with. Okay? And so this says right here, the way you carry yourself will often determine how you are treated. Okay? Because this is underneath judgment. The way you carry yourself will often determine how you are treated. In the long run, appearing vulgar or common will make people disrespect you. For a king respects himself and inspires the same sentiment in others. By acting regally and confident of your powers, you make yourself seem destined to wear a crown. So yeah, they're under judgment because they put on a facade. They pretended to be kings and queens and, like they was the authority figures, like they were supposed to possess this crown, but it was all a facade, okay? For a king respects himself and inspires the same sentiment from others. And so, of course, they wanted the world to bow down to them. But this was not from a space of integrity that they received this position, okay? They received it through bloodshed and criminality and evil works and wickedness and dark magic and spell work against our people. And so, by acting regally is what it says, and confident of your powers, you make yourself seem destined to wear a crown. And so this is the illusion. This is all under the word judgment. So judgment is coming over these people's heads right now for creating an illusion, for fooling the masses into believing that they were supposed to be in a position of power. Naturally, that's not the works of the Most High God. But see, we was put to sleep by the enemy for a very long time. Our ancestors fell into the trap of the enemy. And so we were caught up in the web of the matrix and the web of this illusion for generations and generations. And now that the spiritual warriors, the chosen seed, the Christ consciousness has arisen, the body has now been awakened. We have now been putting in the work and declaring and decreeing and tearing down the false narrative that these people handed to us for too long. And so now they're under judgment. Let me see what else is coming out in terms of why this lightning struck in front of the White House, causing the death of multiple people. What does this mean symbolically and spiritually? So this says keys to power, okay? Fantasy can never operate alone. It requires the backdrop of the humdrum and the mundane. It is the oppressiveness of reality that allows fantasy to take root and bloom. Listen to this, y'all. In 16th century Venice, the reality was one of decline and loss of prestige. The corresponding fantasy described a sudden recovery of past glories through the miracle of alchemy. While the reality only got worse, the Venetians inhabited a happy dream world in which their city restored its fabulous wealth and power overnight, turning dust into gold, okay? So let me just read this last part. The person who can spin fantasy out of an oppressive reality has access to untold power. As you search for the fantasy that will take hold of the masses, then keep your eye on the banal truths that weighs heavily on us all. Wow. Listen, y'all. I just told y'all they created illusion for us. This was all fantasy. And they did this through alchemy. They did this during a time where they had lost their position of power. Okay, but see, the people was under oppression. Our people was under a state of oppression, and this is why they was able to come in. Something shifted for us where they was able to put us to sleep. And I feel like that's what they had to do. The keys to power, because that's the title of this. They had to first put us in an oppressive state. So they took us out of our kingdom and out of our authority and power by placing us in an oppressive state through criminality, bloodshed, and the murdering of our ancestors. And so they had to put our minds, our spirits, and our bodies into an oppressive state before they could actually work this alchemy, which is dark magic, spell works, and rituals. This is exactly what I just said before I opened up this page. So this was their keys to power. And this is how they was able to create the illusion for the masses that crown that they wore for many generations was something that they had actually earned. But the lightning striking is also the spiritual meaning of lightning striking is sudden illumination. And so sudden illumination deals with the reality. Now the falsehood, the veil is now lifted, okay? The reality of what this matrix has truly been, the web that they had spun within our minds and our hearts and our spirits. They had us truly believing that we never possessed power and that we would never be in a position to reclaim our power, because many of us, you can't claim something if you don't know that it is inherently yours. Okay. And so now we've come into the space of awakening, and by breaking of the generational curses, you go in when you tear down certain structures and narratives in the spiritual realm, you create a destructive energy out there. There's a destructive energy that happens when you break the generational curses. And we've been doing this across the four corners of the globe. Those who have been chosen, that has been our assignment, and we have been fulfilling that assignment. And so what happens is when you tear down these structures in the spiritual realm, that creates a void space. And in that void space now has to be filled with something. And so that's us building ourselves internally, but also as a whole body, we rebuild our kingdom. Okay. We rebuild the kingdom. And so in doing this, we have to reclaim our inheritance, our birthright, and our sovereignty. And so your inheritance, when you reclaim your inheritance, you're taking back your power. That is your inherently the chosen have been given the authority and the power to bring justice and balance to all of mankind, to all living beings, to all things within the cosmos, within the earth. We have been given the authority to bring back balance and to restore justice. That is naturally our inheritance, okay? Along with the land, our freedom, our sovereignty, our happiness, our love life, our children, our good health, our spiritual practices and belief systems, our culture. All of these things are a part of our inheritance. And so when you reclaim these things after breaking the generational curses, you go back and you say, I'm taking back what's mine, which that's also a part of what I was called to do. And in past messages, I've also told you all, after you break the generational curses, you go back and you light a candle. You write on that candle, get you a glass candle and write on it with a permanent marker. I reclaim my inheritance, my sovereignty, and my birthright on behalf of myself and my lineage in spirit and in flesh. Okay? And so the keys to power is being illuminated through that lightning strike. These demons are terrified because they know they was the power source that fed the beast of the enemy. These low vibrational entities, the Jezebel spirit, the spirit of fear, the spirit of anger and aggression, the spirit of grief and sorrow. These demons were able to stay alive as long as the power structure was fed through this energy. And so they embodied that. That's the temples. It was us though. It was the chosen seed who was in this energy, because again, they had to put us in an oppressive state. And in that oppressive state, your temple is not conducive to the power of the Most High God dwelling within you. In an oppressive state, in a state of fear, in a state of insecurity, you do not possess a temple that is conducive to embodying the energy, that high vibrational energy of the Most High God and Christ consciousness. And so because of this, your temple was hijacked. Our temples as the chosen seed, as a collective body, was hijacked by these demons. And they had a really good time staying there and living there and festering there and feeding off of our energy, feeding off of our untapped potential, feeding off of our ignorance to the fact that we didn't even know that we possess powers and gifts to be able to come in and to bring destructive energy that would tear down a structure that was against us and our ancestors and our offspring for so long. We did not know. We was blinded. The veil was very thick over our eyes, okay? And so now this lightning strike that has happened in front of the White House that has taken the life of 3 people and a 4th person injured. Like I said, the number 4 deals with foundations. The foundation was built on a unstable structure from the beginning. And so in the tarot deck, when you see the tower card, in the tarot deck, y'all, it is literally lightning striking. Now that I'm thinking about it, the tower card in the tarot deck is lightning striking. And so, let me just pull a card real quick. I wish I could let me see something here. I got to find this tower. Hold on, y'all, because I want y'all to see this. This is clarity. This is us getting our justice, okay? We've been putting in the work. Our spiritual team has been putting in the work, and the Most High has been ensuring that we get what we rightfully deserve, what we have rightfully earned and worked hard for. And for those of you who are the spiritual warriors out there that knew you had a calling to do something great, look at this, y'all. This is the tower card. And there's that crown that we was just talking about. I can't make this stuff up. This is that crown that we was just talking about in this book, The 48 Laws of Power, where it says, if I can find that particular part there, but while I'm looking, this tower card it shows that the people who place themselves in a position of being a king or a queen, thinking that they held the crown of authority and power, that crown is now coming off. that tower, that lightning has come in to strike down that tower. And this is representation of that false structure. Okay. They was running around, walking around thinking that they had built a tower so high that they sat higher than the Most High God. These people built this tower in darkness, though. You see all of this darkness that's hovering around, and it was built on a faulty structure. The structure from the very beginning was faulty. There was nothing solid or stable about it. So they knew that their time was limited, but they was willing to do anything by any means necessary to try to maintain that false structure. Okay, and to try to maintain the illusion over the masses, to make us believe that that we could never come out of the entrapment and the prison and the enslavement that they placed us in mentally, spiritually, and physically. Okay, so let me just pull one card from this deck, and I'm going to go back to this book and stick around, y'all, because I want you to hear this declaration here. Yeah, they wanted us to stay in a zombie-like state so that we would never be able to awaken to the truth here, because they feared the shift. Look at this. The bottom of the deck says Revelations prophecy. It's time for the reveal. It's time to reveal all that has been hidden behind this tower, where they built this Tower of Babel, which is the tower of confusion. They confused your understanding. They confused your spiritual belief system. They confused you into thinking that you was always supposed to be the tail, and that you never possessed a position of royalty, that your ancestors was never in a position of power. They wanted us to think that we came in as slaves and that we was going to die as slaves. But now they fall to their own demise. Now they fall head first. Okay? They fall head first. They have been decrowned because it was never meant for them in the first place. Okay? They gave themselves this position. The Most High didn't give them that position. The Most High did not give them that position. And so, again, the time is up. Make sure that you go and look at that photo so that y'all can see them demons hollering and screaming, because they terrified of what we have done here. The spiritual war has been won. Do y'all see what that says? The spiritual warfare has been won. And you have to excuse me because y'all know I get passionate sometimes, but I'm excited here. We got Revelation coming out. And then we have here, what does this say? Look, the truth must be told. So the revelation, the reveal, we are in the age of Aquarius, the time of the reveal. We are living in some great times right now. And so I know that many of the chosen, y'all might be going through some tower moments in your life. You might have a lot of destructive energy around you, whether it's internally or externally to you. But trust and believe that's nothing but an illusion. That's an illusion of the enemy to get you distracted so that you will not be able to see them while they tuck their heads between their legs and have to go and lie down somewhere and cry and grieve and pray for redemption, but it's not coming. These people, these entities, these dark spirits that worked against the chosen for many generations have a very massive judgment that is upon their heads right now. And that lightning strike in front of the White House was a strong message that our spiritual team, the Most High God, is bringing redemption. The Most High God is bringing the highest form of righteous judgment on our behalf, and the highest form of judgment, the highest form of righteous justice on our behalf, and the highest form of judgment over the head of the enemy, okay? That was a clear message. The truth must be told. It will not be televised, though. These people, they control the media, so they don't want you to see that they are quivering, that they are shaking, that they are fearful, okay? They want to keep you asleep. So they want to put all of these other things, all of these false narratives to create these illusions here. But see, the spiritual war has been won. And that was our sign. Pay attention to the signs. This is why we need those who are the gatekeepers, those who are the watchers of the skies. We pay attention to the signs, okay? The watchmen, the spiritual warriors. We all have our different positions in the body of Christ consciousness, okay? And so this is why we have to pay attention to these signs and symbols, because this is the Most High telling us that their time is up. I'm going to pull one more from this book just to see what that, anything else that we need to know symbolically about what this lightning striking and these deaths mean. And then I'm going to tell you all the declaration that we're going to be burning at this time of this Aquarian, I believe it's Aquarius full moon, okay? So let's see. I'm going to read this top part. I'm being drawn to this top part up here. It says, make use of the cat's paw. In the fable, the monkey grabs the paw of his friend, the cat, and uses it to fish chestnuts out of the fire, thus getting the nuts he craves without hurting himself. If there is something unpleasant or unpopular that needs to be done, it is too risky for you to do the work yourself. You need a cat's paw, someone who does the dirty, dangerous work for you. The cat's paw grabs what you need, hurts whom you need to hurt, and keeps people from noticing that you are the one responsible. Let someone else be the executor or the bearer of bad news while you bring only joy and glad tidings. So these people have been using others to do the dirty work for them. The cat's claw, okay, or the cat's paw. They've been using others to do the dirty work for them. And so they put the ones who have really been the face of wickedness have been hiding behind their mask. They have been hiding behind their little tablecloths, okay? I just saw a vision of the KKK, these old wicked ass people who could never show their face, but these are the same people who, you know, during that time when they was hanging and slaying and killing off melanated people because they was jealous of us and because they felt inferior of us, they had to go and put a mask on. They had to cover their faces because they was the same people who was the police officers, the judges, the attorneys, the same people that was the tax preparers. All of these people who have this position of so-called authority up underneath the U.S. corporation are the same ones that started off as the wicked beings that was running around as cowards, killing off our people and hiding their hand. And then going out without the mask on, without the tablecloth on, looking like a damn fool. Now you going out, you want to take that off and act like you're an upright citizen. Act like you're just, you know, you're the best thing stepping. Like you got so much integrity and honor within you. That's what you wanted the people to believe. But see, the cat's paw was the illusion. Let me put somebody else out there as the face. Let me use somebody else to do my dirty work. And so, of course, they have many people that they used as pawns on their behalf so that no one would be able to point the finger at them. But see, again, the cards already said, Revelation, the truth must be told, okay? The truth must be told. Revelation, nothing can be hidden anymore. Your little face mask, your little tablecloths with your little silly holes up in it, you can't hide the fact that you have always been a racist and that you have always been against the melanated people of the entire planet across the four corners of the globe out of fear, out of inferiority, okay? These people that built the U.S. corporation, we already know who they are and we know what they look like. We know the demons that dwell within them and we know the demons that they work with. We have unmasked the entire structure and we have declared and decreed that every single beast, every single demon, every single entity, every single foul spirit is now cast out and destroyed forevermore, never to return again. And that every part that has been hidden behind this tower, because see, in this tower card, you see only 3 windows here, okay? But you also see people falling to their demise out of those same windows. Because see, the majority of the tower, there is no way to see through. And so this was their attempt and their agenda to keep things hidden. As long as they built this Tower of Babel and confused the masses and had you walking around as zombies, and trying to hide their hand, you would never know who actually was behind the scenes that was actually doing this against us. But now they're being revealed. The lightning has struck. The tower has fallen down. The crown is now coming off and they now fall to their demise. So let's get right into what we need to speak about, what we need to write, burn, and release at this time in order to tear down this structure even further, to make sure that we go ahead and clean up all of the debris. We want to get their asses out of here for good. So now let me see, because now I'm having a hard time finding my paper. I took everything out. Okay, here it is. So this is the declaration that we're going to be writing. Okay, I've already done it. And I'm going to go ahead and burn this one as well. I suggest that you all do it. When you do burn it, come outside and burn it, okay? Stand outside and let the smoke go up into the atmosphere, into the universe, so that because I call on Of course, the Most High God, Mother and Father. I call on the holy angels, the Holy Spirit, the ancestors of love and light, Yeshua, the elemental, the cosmic, and the universal spirits of love and light. I call on all of those who have been placed in a position as the warriors for the chosen to come in. And so when you let the smoke go up into the clouds and you let the smoke go out into the universe, these words that you are burning and this declaration that you are burning, it signifies that you are sending that energy up and out all across the four corners of the globe, that you may be heard loud and clear by those spiritual warriors who are working on your behalf in the spiritual realm. So this says here, and I appreciate all of you who type it down in the comments below on my behalf. Thank you all in advance, okay? I declare and decree destruction to the power source of the enemy, the U.S. corporation, and all who created the structure and continue to receive wealth, power, and authority through its wicked agenda against the chosen. All hidden truths are now exposed. All low vibrational energies, demons, wicked spirits, and beings are utterly destroyed in all realms, timelines, and dimensions forevermore, in spirit and in flesh, and so it is. I'm going to read it one more time. I declare and decree destruction to the power source of the enemy, the U.S. corporation, and all who created the structure, and all who continue to receive wealth, power, and authority through its wicked agenda against the chosen. All hidden truths are now exposed. All low vibrational energies, demons, wicked spirits, and beings are utterly destroyed in all realms, timelines, dimensions, forevermore, in spirit and in flesh, and so it is. It's our time now, y'all, and we're going to continue to get signs. We're going to continue to pay attention, okay? We're going to listen, like I said, their destruction will not be televised by them. These people are so prideful and egotistical, they will not go out like that by televising their own demise. But see, it's going to be bigger than them. It's going to be something to where we seeing this thing through our spiritual eyes. And so they can't hide it. They thinking that we still watching through our natural lens, but we see this through our spiritual eyes. So y'all look out for that photo that I'm going to post on my community right after I put this up, so that you can see that the demons are hollering. So anytime you got spiritual entities of wickedness that are screaming out of fear, you best believe those who are in the flesh are definitely trembling and ready to go hide somewhere. That's what they're trying to do now, because they know that that fleshly body will be destroyed. But they also know that the spiritual aspect of who they are is also going to go through some heavy judgment for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. That's if the Most High does not utterly destroy them to where they have no return. But I strongly sense that this is going to be greater than them getting the pass, because that would be a pass for them to no longer exist. I feel like it's going to be judgment after judgment after judgment, and then maybe after all of that judgment they'll go ahead and get destroyed. But they need to feel the wrath. Okay, this is the time now. So let me know. For those of you, I always say 2 or more. I've done my part. All I need is one more person. But I know that we got so many spiritual warriors out there that's a part of Christ consciousness that have awakened, who are going to join me in this thing. Pay attention to the signs, y'all. It's our time. So I love you all, and I will talk to you all next time.